Hello and welcome to another one of my Elite Dangerous tutorials. This one's about mining painite. It's a very lucrative activity. You can make more money than void opals. In a T9, I'm reckoning, if you get yourself organised, 150 million an hour. In a cutter, you can go 200 million an hour, I would say. So let me show you, first of all, how what you need to do it. You choice of ship. It's not really worth doing in a smaller ship. You know, if you've only got something up to Python or whatever, you're better off going void opal mining. But if you've got enough money to buy a T9, then you can have a go at this. You'll get about probably half a billion per trip, and the trip takes about 3.5 hours or something like that. You can also use an Anaconda, and it's probably a bit more pleasant doing it in an Anaconda. The T9 has quite a few shortcomings, but one thing it has got is a lot of space for cargo. In fact, you get, 600 something, doesn't show on here, but 640 I think it is tons, which is a fair amount. The cargo space is important because you want to be out there for a while. I mean, you can do it in any ship, even a Python. T7, if you're early in the game, would be a good ship. Probably a bit safer than a T9. I'll explain that why later. So let's have a look at what we've got. First of all, you need 2 mining lasers, and I think that works well for whichever ship you've got. T9 struggles to work 2, could do with a bit more power really, because you have to, unless you want to do loads of pip management when you're out there, swapping pips around like you do when you're in battle. I think that would be a bit tedious. So you don't have any problems in a cutter because it's got so much power and it's faster and everything. But anyway, two mining lasers is all you need in your hard points. Utility mounts. I put some shield boosters in and a heatsink launcher. That's because we're going to get interdicted. The heatsink launcher helps break the lock, while your frame shift spools up. And also, you sometimes get interdicted at the star, and while you're scooping fuel, and if you try and jump out quickly with your frame shift going, you're going to overheat. But a heatsink will keep it cool while you do that. Shield boosters just to help your shields a bit while you're, in case you take a bit of fire during the interdiction. Because you get interdicted about once per trip on average. Maybe slightly less than that, because there's a couple of ways of getting out of it. Core internals, just standard stuff, don't need anything there. Although you could, if you wanted to, bulk up, your armor a bit if you wanted, to help you in interdictions if you lose your shields. Best power plant, best thrusters. This is a really slow ship, so you can't compromise on those at all. Ideally, you want them engineered. Best frame shift drives, because you're going to need a lot of jumping. Life support isn't important. Power distributor, again, you need a good power distributor to get the power to your lasers. That's really the restricting feature in a T9 with 2 mining lasers. And sensors, not really that important. Standard fuel tank. And the optionals, this is the important stuff for mining. Let's start at the bottom. You need a detailed surface scanner to show where the mining hotspots are when you arrive at the site for the first time. Next thing, don't really need a docking computer, but in a T9 it saves a lot of messing about, and in a cutter as well, because you're going to be landing on planets occasionally, and planet stations, and if you get a high gravity one, it saves a lot of messing about. You need a refinery, and this stuff you need whatever ship you're going to use. So detailed surface scanner, refinery. The refinery doesn't matter, even the lowest one account, because you're only mining one material, so you don't need loads of what they call it, compartments, whatever what they're called. Then you need prospector limpets, at least one. The 3A gives you two, which is useful, you know, because you can fire one off while you're hanging about. Saves a little bit of time. But with the loadout in this ship, you can't, you know, there's not really an alternate threes. You got a spare slot, so take a 3. Then you need as many collector limpets as you can get. So let's just scroll up a bit to see some of the other things. The top ones are all cargo, because you need to carry a bit of cargo. So the question is, how much cargo space can you compromise for collector limpets? So the more collector limpets you got, the faster you'll mine. So it could conceivably be faster to give up this one and go for, what's the best collector limpet? I think it's a 5A, isn't it? Where are we? Oh, we haven't got any here, so I can't get them. But it could conceivably be, I think you get a 5A is the maximum, so that's another 3. Another 3 limpets in there, so 3 in there, 3 in there would make 6. So, and then that's 8. So 8 limpets would work quite well, I think. So it'd be quicker. So if you don't want to spend so long out there, you know, because your evenings are short or whatever, that might be a better option, because you've still got 500 tons of capacity, and that'll take about 2 hours to fill up. So you're not really lost that much. In fact, I think, second thoughts, I think that's a better layout. If you put another 5A limpet controller in there instead of the cargo rack. So and you'll see later why that is, because you want to pick up the fragments as quickly as possible. So you mine the rock, pick up the fragment, and then move on to the next one. And with this loadout I've got, you do spend a bit of time waiting around for the limpets to do their stuff. So if I had that opportunity now, I think I would change that. So that's it basically. That's the same thing whatever ship you've got. In a cutter, 6 limpets keeps up really well with 2 mining lasers because of the layout of the ship, the way the lasers are positioned, the way the cargo scoop is, everything. It works really efficiently. So I wouldn't have any more than 6 limpets with a cutter. I can't show you the loadout for that at the moment because my normal recorder's not working. I'm having to use this Windows one, which isn't easy to switch between applications. Anyway, so that's the basic loadout, and that's the same for any ship. So balance of collector limpets and mining lasers. I don't think more than 2 lasers is going to work that well. I've missed something, haven't I? A fuel scoop. Yeah, you're going to be from the station to the mining field. It's on average 100 light years. So no ship's got enough to do that in one hit and back. So you're going to need to take a fuel scoop. Anyone will do it. Just how much time you want to waste sitting at stars refueling. But as you can see, this loadout works quite well. Oh, the shield generator. Forgot to mention that. I'm using a bi-weave. You bump into rocks, and that knocks your shields down. A normal shield's can take longer to generate. This one, you know, will regenerate straight away. And also in interdictions, you can get multiple interdictions between the final star and the station where you're going to sell the stuff. They sometimes get you 3 times, and each time you're going to lose a bit of your shields before you get back into Super Cruise. So the bi-weave will completely regenerate while you're in Super Cruise, so you go back to start again, and you're going to win that one. But with the 6A shields, I think there's a danger that they don't regenerate fast enough and could compromise you a little bit. But 6C is going to work fine. So that's how I do it. You've got the shield boosters to bump that up. Don't forget those. You need that. Right, before you set off now, you need to go to advanced maintenance and get your limpets. Do not forget that, because it's a long way there. And you know, if you haven't got them, you're going to be stuck. Oh, sorry, I missed something on the loadout. So you find it on restock under advanced maintenance. Just click on the old thingy. Whoops. And you want to take about half the capacity of your cargo, whatever ship you've got, because you use up limpets during the session. With a cutter and 500 and whatever cargo capacity, I found that 170 was the an ideal amount, because it's so efficient in the way it uses them. With this one, I think you need a bit more. So yeah, that's that. So we got our things. Yeah, sorry, I thought I'd forgotten the refinery, but I did mention that. So we're okay to go now. So now we need to know where to go. So wherever you are, wherever your ship is, there's a very nice tool. I mean, you can use inara.cz. There's tools in there for it as well. But the one I like, nice and easy to use, is edtools.ddns.net stroke miner. Now I'm going to put a link below. I might be able to put a picture into this when I do editing to show you how that works. But basically, you just put where you are, and there's underneath that it says I want to mine and sell, and then you can click Painite, Void Opals, or whatever you want. Just click Painite, and you'll see that I'm just going to do it now. You can't see me do it because the recorder doesn't pick this up. So now I'm back to here. So I've used the DDNS, and it's told me which is the nearest double hotspot mining site. Dead easy. You'll see how it works. So open up your galaxy map, and click in the grey box. And what I did from the other thing, I swiped over the name of the system and copied it. And now with Control V, if you're on a PC, you can paste it straight in there. Saves you having to type it all out. Remember. And just, here it is. I'd actually bookmarked it because I've been there before. And you'll use this one, but because I've been there before, I can go straight to the system. It's this planet here. So when you arrive at the system at the start, the first time, look for planet number 2. After that, use your discovery scanner to bring up where all the planets are. Then look at your navigation, navigate to planet 2, and that's it. And so I'll see you there then. Right, when you arrive at the planet, you won't see these orangey yellow things on there. It'll just be grey. So to light those up, you have to use your surface scanner. So you go, if you're in the blue mode, whatever they call it, discovery mode or whatever it is, pull your trigger on the surface scanner, and it changes to this, and then just anywhere in the grey, well, probably towards the outside because the gravity will pull the thing in, just fire it again, and the little probe will go in there. It won't do it this time because it's already done it, only does it once. So once that hits the rings, goes round like windscreen wipers, and then when the windscreen wipers have finished their job, these yellow spots show. And the one we're looking for is this one down here. Look at the shape of these if you're going to come here. I'm just going to change modes a sec. So now I'm not in discovery mode now. You get this one here, this spot on its own with Bertrandite, and then 2 joined together. This is a double hotspot. There's other Painite spots here and other double hotspots, but they're not the ones you want. It's this one here. So where those 2 are, I guess the ideal position is halfway between them. I haven't tried other places, but you know, that's where I've always gone, because that's the overlap of the 2, so that makes it into a double hotspot. So just flying there as normal. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that when you arrive at the star, it's probably a good idea to top up with fuel, because you might be here for a while. And you know, depending where you're going to afterwards, you might jump to a couple of systems that don't have scooping. So if your tank's halfway down, then you get interdicted and lose more fuel. You know, you could be in trouble. So it's, you know, just good practice, I think, to top up. Now, the pirates won't come until you get down towards the rocks. So just fly down to them. Any minute now. Any second, I should say. They don't always come. It's good if they don't. But I hope they do, because I need to explain what to do. Cargo scoop out ready. Right, there he comes. Right, now, what can happen is a number of things. You can get one set of pirates, two sets of pirates, one set of pirates and a set of miners, a miner on his own, a couple of miners, any combination thereof. And he's a pirate because he sees all these come to figure out what I'm up to. There's another one also behind me. So he's now seen me. I haven't got anything. So in the old days, he would just fly off and you wouldn't see him again. But now they go into a rather nasty circle of the radar, normally just out of range. So you see them flashing. They go all the way around the radar. But he's going to have a look at the other ship by the looks of it, who could be a miner, because he hasn't scanned me, and he's got his hard points out. So it looks like they're going to have a bundle now. So if you had weapons, you could go and help him out, but it's not a good idea. Where is he? So unfortunately, it's lawless here, so you can't tell much about them. So unless he scanned me and he's on his way, he's a Viper, so he's not a miner. And I don't think the Chieftain is either. So they're probably both pirates. Now, one of them, at least, is probably going to do the circuit of the radar, and that's a right pain because they go round and round there. The moment you see, what you mustn't do is get scanned with cargo on board, because that's what they're after. So you don't want to start mining until they've gone. So there's two strategies you can use for getting rid of them. One, you can bore them to death, and what that means is just park up your ship like this, go and make a cup of tea, go and have your toilet break. If you're going to, have a couple of runs out here in the evening, time it so that you arrive here, you get all ready, and then go and have your break. And when you come back, they'll be gone. Because once they've gone, nobody else will bother you. But as long as they're there, there's a risk that they're going to scan you. Even that one flashing, you go right round, and even when they disappear off your radar, you start mining, and mysteriously, within minutes, they're back on there again. Next thing you know, they come and scan you, and then you've got no choice but to leave, because you can't fight back. They got hatch breaker limpets, things like that. They're going to take all your cargo, probably blow you up as well. So you can just wait them out. And you see, they're gradually working their way around the clock. When they do a 360, then you'll see them jump out and leave the white square behind. So it's going to be a long wait now. So I'm not going to bore you with that. But what I can do is explain a few things while we're waiting. Right, the type of rocks you want, and I'm going to explain why. You want small rocks, round rocks, and stationary rocks. Any of those three are ideal for mining. What you don't want is an irregular shaped one. Let's see if we can just spot one. I mean, I came over this place because there were there's quite a few round rocks, but if you look at that one down there, it doesn't look like it's moving very fast. See where I've got my pointer, the dot in the middle of my screen. That'll be spinning a lot faster when you get there. What the irregular shaped ones do is they knock all the as they spin round, they knock all the fragments out, and it makes it much harder for your limpets to collect them up. With a round one, they come off just nicely in a line, and so your limpets can pick them up much more easily. And also the irregular shaped ones, especially the fast spinning ones, they swat your limpets. And what's worse, the fragments either get stuck on the surface of the rock, or they actually, I've seen them inside the rock. And when they're inside the rock, the limpets still try and get them, but of course they can't because there's rock there, so they just bash into the rock and explode each time, and you'll just be completely, continuously feeding out new limpets. They go straight out, bash into the rock, and you have to send another one out, but of course they can't get it. So in those circumstances, you have to move on to another rock, let all your limpets go, and then basically start again. Further away. The limpets only tend to go for the fragments at the rock you're mining. So once you've moved away, it'll be okay. Just notice that one of those pirates has jumped out. You see the other one working his way around the clock. Now, just coming back to the one, sometimes it's a miner. So if you see the thing on your radar, it's always worth having a look at him. And if you, even at a long range that your sensors can't really pick them up, you can see the mining lasers visually. So if you see that, and that's the only ship that's come on your radar, you're free to carry on. So if it's miners, you're okay. But any pirate like those two, and especially if they've come already and scanned you, or that's a dud, or what juicy cargo you got, any of those comments, it's a pirate, right? So you don't want irregular rocks, moving ones. If they're completely stationary, it's not such a problem, of course, because they're not spinning around to spread the limpets out. Any stationary rock is good, but I find it much easier to mine the small rocks than the bigger ones. It's easier to position yourself. So that's a choice of rocks. I don't think there's any difference in how you get the which one's got the most painite in. It's just RNG, and probably the RNG goes off when you actually drop your prospector on the rock. So it doesn't. I don't think it makes any difference which one you've got. When I was painite mining, I did notice that you got the music. It was all dead silent. You get all these weird noises and things, but occasionally the music would start up, and 9 times out of 10 I was close to a rock with a core in it for the void opals when I was doing those. I don't know whether it's the same thing. I do hear the music go off, but I can't say there's a correlation between that and rocks with a lot of painite in them. Maybe it works for ones with cores in, but because we're not interested in cores for this, we just want normal mining. So he's done his 360 now, so hopefully, there he is. He's just coming in for one last look, and then we'll see him turn to a white dot, and we're ready to go. Let's hope he's gone. So normally, there he goes, there's the white dot. So we're now clear, nobody will bother us now. So that's a nice small rock. So this is how we do it. If you've done mining before, it's same stuff, nothing special here, just normal mining. So we need to bring up our prospector limpet. And yeah, what I didn't show you on the loadout is the fire groups. This works quite well for this ship. I've got collector limpets in fire group 2. Don't really matter which group you got them in, but then the mining lasers in the same fire group. That's important because you need to keep replenishing the collectors while you're mining. Then the prospector limpet in a different fire group. I got it in the one before because it happens before, and the detailed surface scanner I've just put in the same group because it's it's easy. You don't use them at the same time, but that's a good place to put it. Saves having an additional fire group for that. And then the third fire group, I've got the discovery scanner, which is useful, for picking up a few systems on the way back, and the heatsink launcher. We've got to have you can have the heatsink launcher on a trigger, and you could put the discovery scanner in the group B as well, because that only works when you're in super cruise. So yeah, if you could put the heatsink on a button. You don't have to have it on a trigger. You can assign any button to that. So if you've got it on a button, then you can get away with 2 fire groups, which would be easier, I think. But not that it makes a big difference. So here we are. We're ready to go now. So we changed fire groups to our prospector limpet. Now, you want to put a dot on your screen if you haven't got it. it makes a really good target for prospector limpets. So go to your settings where all the bindings are, and it's in the graphics settings last time I looked, and it was called the mouse widget. I'm not sure what they call it these days. So just switch it on so you get this dot in the middle of your screen to make a sight for your prospector limpet, and it's really accurate. So just fire your prospector limpet, and when you've got 2 prospector limpets, once it's come out, so I'm stationary at the moment, you can select another. In fact, I think I'll go for that one over there because it's nice and slowed round. So if you fire the prospector limpet in this ship while you're accelerating forward, you bump into it and it'll expire. So looking at the first one, we got painite. I'm just going to target the second one now. That's got painite in it as well. So what you're looking for is any painite more than, which is the nearest one. It's weird because whichever one looks the nearest, they rarely are. So you get low, medium and higher yield. Any low 10% or less, don't bother with. Any medium less than say 8%, don't bother with, because you don't get enough fragments to make it worth your while. So now you switch to your mining lasers and collector limpets. Fire off. You can start mining and just keep pulling the trigger to fire off the collector limpets when they're ready to go, until you see noughts and noughts under the collector limpets. Oops, I haven't got my pips. So you don't really need any pips for your shields while you're mining, because they come back quite quickly. But if you start losing your shields, you can just put a pip there temporarily to recharge them. You can see even with 4 pips, it can't keep the 2 lasers going, this ship. Cutter doesn't have a problem with that, so 2 works quite well. I think an Anaconda would be okay as well. So you see all the fragments coming off and spreading out. The longer it takes to collect them, the more spread out they are. And ideally, if you can get that laser on the side more central, they come more towards you, like that. So you don't really want to move your ship that much. Like if they've drifted away, you can help it out by like moving your ship a bit towards them. You've got to be careful. What you mustn't do is bring your belly up against the rock, because the limpets go in under your belly and they'll hit the rock and explode. And also when you're travelling around, if you travel with your belly too close to rock, even though you don't hit it, you'll knock out all the limpets underneath. And then you'll have to, send some more out. So if I just tilt my ship over now, I haven't put my belly to it, but I've got quite a bit of clearance there. That just gives them a slightly shorter distance to travel into the cargo hold. So you just wait till they're all hoovered up, and then you go on to the next rock. And that's basically it. So we've done the types of rocks. So when you see no valid collection targets, oh sorry, there is something else. Right, I'm collecting some other stuff just for my own reasons. So I'll just show you something else. So let's go to contacts. I'm just going to find out. That's the other prospector I found. So he's got 57% painite. That's a lot. Even though it's low, you'll get about 15 units from that altogether after it's refined. Right, now, I'll do it again this time. So, if you get that second, the laser to the left, sort of more in the centre of the rock, you'll see they come more towards me. If you get your nose quite close as well. Now in an Anaconda, I reckon, and definitely in a cutter, you get the lasers, they're right under your nose, you get your nose up against it, it's really quick. The fragments all come directly towards you in a nice orderly line. The limpets pick them up straight into the hatch, back out again, and it can hoover them up fast, equally as fast as what you can mine them with 2 lasers. It's working a bit more efficiently this time. So positioning doesn't help, and if you're going to be out here for hours, each minute that you save can, save you a lot of time. So what you want to do, don't hoover up everything. So when you see fragments, oh, this one's all painites, but what you do, the things you don't want, just look over here, add carbon to ignore list. Now, everything that's not got painite in it, every element or every material, whatever it is that you don't want, add to your ignore list like that. So you won't see those anymore. Is molybdenum, I'm full of that. So. But even if you're not full, don't bother collecting them. You can actually, I'll show you better on the other ones. So why's my inventory full? It's probably because of the material. Right, so now we're looking for our next drop. So I've got the planet targeted. So basically you want to work sort of towards it. Don't think we've done this one, have we? And you want to basically work your way towards the planet all the time, so that you don't go over the same ones. Otherwise you find that you're targeting inventory full. Why is it doing that? So that's got painite. So I'll show you. Now this one's only got painite. A lot of them you see got painite and other stuff in them, and you don't want to pick up all the other stuff. This ship's really slow, so what you can do, if you've got a long way to the rock, put your cargo scoop away. That'll make you a bit faster. Let's see if we can get it more central again. You see how easy it is when you choose the right rock. When you do it, you'll see some other things. So I'll have to show you on the next rock about the different. What do you call them? Fragments, I suppose, to not pick up. Get a bit closer than that. That'll be quicker then. Don't worry about that noise, as long as it's the one that you're mining. When you get your nose right up against it. Nose right up against it, it makes that funny gurgling noise. But if you're not right up against it, it could be one of the rocks around you has drifted towards you. They don't actually move their centre, but what looks like a stationary rock mysteriously shape-shifts and has a great bit sticking out of it which swipes you as it goes round, you know, that wasn't there when you started. So there's another one up there, another one just up and to the left. So.
Programming liquid drone.
If you're constant speed, it's okay. You can even be. Oh no, because I fired it when I was accelerating. I can get away with that more with a cutter because it has a slightly different layout underneath the ship, so they don't get knocked. While I'm waiting for that one, oh, that's too irregular shape. Looks round.
Prospector limpet engaged.
We don't want that one. Right over there.
Asteroid scan.
Looks fairly still. But watch it speed up when we get there. There's one to the two to the left really we could have had. Oops. No. Fire group. Yeah, see if you've got two fire groups, you're just switching between the prospectors and the collectors all the time, so you won't get so mixed up. I got muscle memory from the other ship that had 4 fire groups, so it's causing me a little bit of confusion at the moment. So that one's got painite and pricidium, so that'll show it. That one's got gallite and painite, right? So I'm collecting these things at the moment for my own reasons, but I'll show you what to do. So once you've got a few fragments done, you'll see now you've got painite and gallite. When you select one, you move your cursor to the other side, add gallite to the ignore list, and then you won't collect it anymore. And if you've got any in your refinery or in your inventory, I got Bertrandite next because I'm collecting it, but you can eject them from here. Just whoop, put that to the refinery. So just click on that, select it, and down here abandon. And you can also do that with your refinery. So if you've got anything in a refinery, I've got Bertrandite, you just do the same thing. Move to there, click on it, and then eject it. So I want that one. So I've got 31 tons already. Right. So that's it. I think I've shown you everything now. So all it is now is a case of staying here and filling up your 640 tons. And so far I've got 31. So 5% of the way there. Quite quick. I've had a bit of luck with I've had some quite good rocks so far. You know, you get a run of good ones, then a run of bad ones. Could be anything. Orangey as usual.
Asteroid repeated.
So what I'll do, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it now. So I'll pick you up again on the way back if I get interdicted to show you how well this ship works with interdiction. I'm elite and I'm in a big ship, so it probably means that they are quite good at like giving you a chance. In a cutter, it's always going to be elite FDLs and Anacondas that come after you, but I don't know what it is in this. But hopefully it's slow ship. The Anacondas are easy to get away because they don't go very fast, but this ship, I'm just going to put a limpet on that one. Now, I've still got a limpet on a ship, on a rock sort of down and to the left, and that's going to disappear. You only have 2 active at a time, so I'm going to have to fire this one.
Prospector limpet failed.
You see the other one disappeared. Now I'm going to have to go down here and do it visually. Hope I get the right one.
Engaged.
It must have been. Ooh, is that one?
Asteroid scan complete.
So once you've got the, I thought it was closer than that. I hope I got the right one. No, I'm going to find another limpet. I've got loads of limpets, so just to make sure.
Prospector limpet failed.
So the one that's just disappeared was the one on the rock on mine. So.
Prospector limpet engaged.
Yeah, 12%. I mean, that's not really that much, but
asteroid scan complete.
You know, it's up to you whether you leave that or not. 10% is not my normal one, but you know, I do go leave some of the higher ones sometimes. So right, I'll pick you back on the way, pick you up on the way back then, and see how we get on. Right, just done the sums. What happened was I had some painite in the refinery. What I always do, even when the cargo hold's full, just have a look in your refinery, take out everything that isn't painite. Well, you'll only have painite in there anyway because you probably deselected all the other materials. But you can wait until that's full as well, and you'll get about another 5 tons from that. What happens when you sell your painite? All the stuff that's refined in the refinery but can't go into your cargo hold then jumps in. So you see that you got like 5 more tons left to sell. So the total was I got another 4 million for the painite that was in my hold, and so that gave me 389 in total. Call it 390. And if you look at the video from the time I left the station to the time I arrived back, sold all my stuff, it was roughly 3 hours. So that's 130 million an hour I got in that trip. And the last time I got 133 million an hour. So I think that's fairly consistent in a T9. In the cutter, I can get 200 million an hour because it's just so much more efficient in the way it collects the limpets, because I've got 6 limpets, and sorry, it collects the fragments. It's got 6 limpets, and the 2 lasers are right in the nose, so the fragments are controlled much better. If you've got a cutter, you'll see what I mean. So I haven't tried an Anaconda, so Anaconda might be better, or even a T7. You can get quite a bit of cargo in one of those. So you know, have a play with that and see how you get on. If you've got any comments, put them in the comment section. I try to always reply if I can. And other than that, maybe see you in the next video.